Hey, I'm Joe Price. I'm just going to describe how you can help with this project in North Dakota. We added about 22,000 families to the family tree. These were families from the 1910 census that weren't on the tree already. And then after we got done, we ran some code to check to see if the possible duplicate flag had shown up for any of these people. And we have about 1,000 people that we need to go check on, see if we need to merge duplicates. We also checked to see if people had record hints. These are the blue hints that show up in the upper right hand on the screen. And because our second goal is we'd love to have each of these people to also have a second source about them. And so you can help with either of these tasks. Probably doing the hints is probably easier, and but with a little bit of help, I'm sure you can help with the duplicates part too. We're really grateful to have your help. So let me share my screen and show you how this works. Okay, so this is the sheet we'll be using. And notice that when you first come into the sheet, you can just click under the volunteer column like in a cell. And if you hit Control down, it'll take you to the next open spot. And then you'll just put in your name for however many you want to check out. You might check out 10 at a time or whatever you'd like to do. And then you can do one at a time. I actually like to open 3 windows at a time just so that sometimes it takes a little bit for the window to open up, and that way I can just spend most of my time working on it. Now notice right here, over here on the right, it says possible duplicate. So that's where we're going to click, and we're going to hit review merge. Now here's the most important step, is deciding if these 2 people are the same. So notice we have a name match. We come down here, you have Mary and Mary. You have a son, Joseph J. Marty, and then Mary Ann. So this one actually is not looking, or at least for me, there's not enough information to know that this is a match, and it actually doesn't look like a match at all. So in that case, what we'll do is just put a 0.5 right here. That means I'm not sure. Or if you're definitely sure that it's not a match, you can put a 0. The zeros don't happen very often. Okay, so then we just go to the next one. And again, remember the most important step is right here, where we're going to look at the information. And again, remember these are things that the family search system flagged as possible duplicates, and that's why we need to go and check these by hand and see if, in fact, this is a match. Now, again, this is another one. So again, I just don't see enough information, and I have some conflicting information. Like it might be a match, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to put 0.5 on that one as well. Okay, let's get to the third one. We're going to hit this. And again, you can see why we want a human involved in this. These are really hard for the machine to know. But again, what we're looking for is evidence that confirms that it's a match. Now this one, actually, I feel right away that it's a fantastic match. You can see lots of kids lining up: Emma, Emma, Ragnar, Ragnar, Emil, Emil, Ellen, Ellen. You also see that they were living in Walsh in 1910. They were living in Walsh in 1920. Now the only thing I'm going to do differently here is I'm going to switch sides. This one on the left has definitely much more information. So we'll switch that over. And then we'll look down and see if there's anything that we need to add from this side. And in this case, the only thing that's really going to come over is the family members and the record. Okay, so now we've resolved that duplicate. Now, because we added a whole family to the tree, we're going to need to merge the other people as well. And this is actually, so let me do this more slowly. What I did is I clicked here to copy the ID. Then I'm going to click on the wife. And the reason I copy the ID is because sometimes it doesn't show up right here. This time it did, so that's great. Okay, so let's see. So again, this looks like a good match. You can see they already have the same husband. And so then we're going to come down here. We'll hit continue. Okay, and then we just need to do this for each of the kids. So notice right here, it does give us a possible duplicate for one of the children. So we can fix that. Then we're going to switch sides. We always want the one with more information on the right-hand side, and then we'll come down here, hit continue, hit add, and finish. Okay, and then we also want to do a meal. So for some reason he did not. Let's go back to the mom and see if it shows up as a possible duplicate. So notice we don't get any other possible duplicate children, even though we can see really clearly right here that we have 2 more duplicates. We have Emma and we have Emil. So let's copy the ID and then click on Emil. And then now it does show up here, so that's good. So we'll merge him. Okay. Okay. And then let me show you. Let's do that one last kid, and then I'll show you how to grab the next batch of people. And this one took a little longer. This is probably the longest one that I've had to do today. I've done about 100 today, and this one was a bit longer, but it's good. I'm glad you got to see the different ways that you can merge when there's a whole family involved. Great. So that's all done, and so now we're going to put a 1 here. And then what I'd like to do is pull this tab down and get rid of all those other tabs, and then I just bring up my next 3. Now I'll just kind of, we probably won't do all of these, but we can kind of look at them really quick. Okay, so again, here we have these missing standardizations. You can do that if you want, but we're going to be focusing on the possible duplicates. You can see right here we have really fantastic information matching up. We have the spouse and then one of the kids, so we'll need to merge all of them. Okay, so we'll handle that really quick. So again, notice we compare the information, make sure we pick the one that has the more. This is interesting that the death date is different, so it's a little hard to tell which one we should use. I'm going to keep the one on the right, and we come down here. Okay, and I'll do the other family members once I finish the video. But again, really quick, the way to do that is copy the code, click on the wife, and then if it shows up as a possible duplicate right here, then you can do it. If not, then use the merge duplicates down lower. Okay, so this looks good. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, this one had more complete marriage information. And there we go. Okay, so then there's this one here. Let's take a look. Okay, so let's see. So again, we have to kind of look at all the information. This one's a little harder. Can't quite tell. You have the kids not quite lining up. Spouse is off by a couple of years. So this one I'm going to put a 0.5 on, and then let's do this last one. And so let's just put that in right now. So 1, 0.5, and this last one. Okay, I got it. Let's check on Frederick. Okay, notice how I can click on this to see. Yeah, so then that's a match, and so it was really the kid that helped us know that this was a match. And so I'll merge him, and then I'll go back and merge his wife and child. Okay. So last thing I want to show is just how to do the hints tab. So back here on this sheet, right here, so I'm going to put in the 1 for that last one. Okay, and you can always, like if you end up not using it, you can always delete your name. This is just, the name's just a way of checking stuff out. Now you'll see some notes here. You don't have to worry about the notes. These were just, early on I was trying to get a sense of like why we were getting duplicates, and so these were just some coding that I wrote in, but for the most part you're just putting in numbers. They're always welcome to write a note. Like if there's something you're not sure about, you can do that. Let me show you the hints. The hint sheet set up exactly the same way, except for this task, rather than merging a duplicate, what we want you to do is attach at least one other record. And if there's a census record, that's by far the best one to attach. So now you can attach more than one source if there are, but notice this is a good one because I'm glad we actually got to see this, because this is actually another way that we can catch duplicates. So let's go back here, because notice here on John's page, it's not showing a possible duplicate. When we go to attach another source, then we're finding the duplicate. So let me show you how to handle this situation. So then what I want to do is I'm going to copy this ID over here on the right. I'm going to hover over the word detach and then click on this ID. Okay, and then I'm going to hit merge. Okay, and so now we're back into our merge environment, and I'll spend some time merging the rest of this family. Let's just double check to make sure that so there's Katie and Catherine, and then we have the kids lining up. We got Jack and Jacob. Teresa. So, this is a big family, and so I'll need to go and do a little bit of merging. That's not a big deal. And if you want, like if you don't feel comfortable doing merging, you can just write in a little note that says like merging that needs to be done. I'll show you what I would do in that situation. So I come back here. So I've attached a source now to John. And notice that when I do this, when I refresh it, then now John's going to be attached. And oh, actually it looks like now everyone's attached. So it looks like I just needed to do that one merge and then things start to work out. But it does look like there's going to be some other family members that I need to work with. So let me go back here. I'm going to hit 1 and I'm going to be like needs some. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so notice again we have a couple census records. So the census records are the best, so anytime you can attach census records, that would be really helpful. And then let's just make sure that this is a match. So we have multiple people matching up, which is fantastic. Okay. Okay, and then you know, these are people that are born after 1910, so we don't usually add them to the tree. But sometimes with a little bit more research, we could find out if they're deceased or not and add them to the tree. But we do try to respect the 110-year rule. Okay, so we'll put a 1 there, and then for this last one, let's see. So here we have, and the 1900 census is by far the best, but 1920 is great too. So I'll probably do both of those. Okay, so again, you can see here we have everyone lining up really well. So then my main job is going to be to attach all these records. So in each case, remember for the hints, our main goal is to try to make sure that each person has at least 2 sources. And so using these record hints will be a quick way for us to do that. So yeah, let me just finish by saying I'm really grateful that you're helping with this project. You're making it possible for people to see their family on the family tree. We're really excited to do these kind of projects for specific states so that people in that state can reach out to their neighbors and say, hey, would you like to use Family Search to see your family? So thanks for helping. We hope you have a great experience with this project.